Hey, you guys, you're going to want to listen all the way through this episode because we have got a giant star that himself is starstruck. We'll tell you who struck him.
You're also going to find out how you can own something from Tupac Shakur, but not really. So
It'll cost you a lot and you won't even get it. So
enjoy the show, everyone.
Hey, everybody, it's us. That's Kelly. I'm Sharon. You see the name Adam in the background, but he is but a mystery now.
Yeah.
I saw Adam at work today, and he was in a meeting with our very big boss. And it looked like a casual meeting. So he has reached that level
Yeah.
of management where he's just leaning in the doorway, talking to the big boss. Maybe he'll step down a couple of notches and join us back on 90s Now. Until then, we miss him.
Yeah.
And know that he's undoubtedly found some time to at least listen to us.
Yeah. Thanks.
And thanks, Adam, and thanks you guys too. We appreciate it. There's news about unreleased music coming from Tupac Shakur. And how can you get your hands on that? Ultimately, a lot of money. Kelly's going to help me and us understand how this whole deal will work. But you know what? If you're sitting on $250,000, you're already on your way. And if you're sitting on $250,000, hey, can I borrow $250,000? Just kidding. I don't want your money. The real end of the line for a show that has already faced its end of the line and was saved, but it doesn't seem to be it's going to be saved again. So we'll talk about that. Kelly's trivia will likely bring Sharon back down to earth. I've even referred to myself in the third person because I went 2 for 2 last week. And let's face it, the odds are that's not going to happen again today. But wow, wouldn't it be great if it did? Sharon would be very happy. We've got another musical timestamp with just a few songs coming up with your 90s Rewind.
Mm-hmm.
And isn't it neato, when a big time celebrity admits to being starstruck? Leonardo DiCaprio is that celeb. And the star that struck him, Luke Perry.
Isn't that crazy?
So let us start there. It's information that's come out of a new documentary called I Am Luke Perry.
Have you seen it?
I have not seen it.
I mean, either.
I'm looking forward to watching it, though. I'm not even sure if I was aware of it, but
It did say, because I don't think like when I read the article, I don't think it said what streamer it's on. Did we see? I don't think I saw that.
they can't make it that easy for us, Kelly. We have to do some of the work.
I understand it.
Yeah. Well, Luke Perry, the subject of this documentary, and it's Jason Priestley that's put it together, which is kind of cool.
Very cool.
But they spoke to Leonardo DiCaprio because both of them, he and Luke Perry, were in Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which remarkably is from 2019. I don't even know. I thought that, for 2025 standards, that January seemed pretty slow. February blew by, and suddenly we're halfway through March. So I guess that's why 2019 seems so long ago. It's crazy, but the Oscar-winning movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, highly recommend that. And what Leo said about meeting Luke Perry was that he was immediately struck by his kindness. And isn't that what you want to have people say about you?
Yep.
Period. Margot Robbie also spoke well of him. What Leo was saying, though, was having been born and raised in Los Angeles and worked in the industry his entire life, he says in many ways it greatly shaped who he is, and that there was an immediate sense of excitement in seeing Luke Perry on set, that it was incredible. Of course, Luke Perry and 90210 Peeps, and how he went on to be a great big part of Riverdale. It really ties his own experience into to different generations. And I just think that we've talked about Leonardo DiCaprio enough over the course of the past, 20 years or more, in his movies and what he's done and what he said and who he dates and all these things, that it's neat to have him be starstruck by someone. And I think it's one of those things that kind of humanizes him. Not that it's impossible to picture someone like him being human, But
Yeah.
it's one of those things. He's just like us. He grew up watching certain shows or he was influenced by certain actors. So it's neat that he was open about sharing that in this documentary.
Yeah, it's funny because when I read the part about him being like starstruck by Luke Perry, I was like, what? Because Leo always comes off as either very removed from, you know what I mean? Like he does his movies, and then I don't really ever see, I mean, I know he's done press for them, but you don't really see, like, you just don't see him really. Like he's not
Hmm.
hanging out on socials like J-Lo, where she's posting and like it's like a thing. And whatever. And I don't see unless he does that and I'm unaware, but I don't see that coming from Leo. I think he does his thing and then he stays pretty private. So to know that
Hmm.
he was kind of like, for lack of a better word, like fangirling over like,
Yeah.
which is so cutesy. And yeah, like you said, it humanizes him and and it also brings me like more respect for him in a way because it was like, yeah, so you were watching what other people were doing as you grew into who you grew into with your own acting. So that's cool.
Yeah. What's interesting also is that that movie, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, was from 2019, which is also the year that Luke Perry passed away.
Yeah. Is so it's already 6 years, right? Like it's bananas.
Yeah. March of 2019.
Yeah, it was March 4th. I remember, and that day was like there was three of them, I think, that died that day. One of them was the lead singer, why am I forgetting his name? From the name The Fat of the Land. Ooh, like the album. What's the name of that group? Oh my God.
This,
Fayasata.
oh, Prodigy.
Yes. So he died
Right.
that day. I think it
Wow.
was either
Yeah.
that day or the next day. And then there was another one. There was three of them that went right around that time. And it was just one after the other. It was like
Hmm.
crazy. Uh, I can't remember who the third one was though. Anyways, and then it's crazy too. Like later on this year, off of the July or August. I think it's like August 13th though. It'll be a year for
That,
Shannon Doherty.
that's wild.
Yeah,
I just, what I appreciate from her or anybody that is so um, present in their own lives, knowing that, I mean, we all know that we have an end date. Some of us don't know what it is. Um, to be so present in your life in your final stages, I think that's a, a great gift that you can give yourself. And then if people see that, it becomes a gift to them.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Miss
Okay.
Luke.
So, yeah, totally that.
Yeah.
Um,
I kind of hope they're hanging out up there.
it's an interesting way to picture things for sure. And isn't it, there's some sort of um, consolation to that, like that you're reunited with the people that you love. But I mean, yes, that's how a lot of us function, that's going to be the case. But the added layer of, for fans is like, oh, the cast is getting back together.
Yeah.
Dylan and
Yeah.
Bran. He was, he was like the quintessential moody teen
Yeah.
for 90s television.
Who was
Bran.
26, I think, at the time, right? When he was
Yeah,
19 or whatever it was. So, yeah.
amazing. Well, may they rest in peace, and may we look forward to I Am Luke Perry, a new documentary um, by Jason Priestley.
I guess Google it to find out what streamer it's on.
I guess, ultimately we could have Googled it too.
Yeah.
So while you are assembling your trivia cards, I may Google it. How about that?
Do it that, do it up.
And let's get ready for trivia.
Boom, boom. So, Sharon, would you like to start with the salmon colored card or the orange colored card?
Salmon. I'm
Pop
fancy
culture.
that way.
Pardon?
I'm fancy that way.
Fancy that way. Pop culture it is. Which rad style of shirt did the grunge movement make popular?
Plaid.
Go, girl.
A flannel plaid.
Actually, you know what's hilarious is like they actually had that answer, plaid slash flannel.
Yeah.
Good job, Sharon.
Thank you. Thank you very
Actually,
much.
it's funny, as you said it, I literally just had a flashback to a couple of my friends in high school that very much subscribed to the big black boots, the jeans, and the flannel wrapped around their waist.
Yeah. And were they giggly and hee hee hee? No, they were
No,
moody.
moody and lots of earrings.
And they looked at you like you were gonna get it.
Yeah,
If only they had the energy.
yeah.
Exactly. All right. Well, how about question number two then?
Pokemon was the second best-selling video game franchise of the 90s, but what franchise took the number one spot?
Of a video game?
Pokemon was the second best-selling video game franchise of the
Okay.
90s. Who had the
Um,
number one spot?
Mario Brothers. Are you telling me I got two for two?
This is 2 weeks, two for two.
Oh my God. I will
Vicky,
be
look at her go.
unbearable.
You should buy lotto tickets.
Sharon might buy a lotto ticket.
Yeah, two for two, baby.
All right. Yes, you can call me baby. And the documentary for Luke Perry, by the way, because
Yep.
yes, I'm that skilled that I'm taking questions and Google searching, holding my puppy, all good, was on the CW. It is on streaming services, though I don't know which ones apply to you in your life. So Googling is your best bet.
Okay. Do we
Do
get it here in Canada though?
I am not sure about that.
Okay.
Why can't they just put it on TV?
Why can't they?
Why can't they? I still have TV, but I think that's
Why?
more of an indication of my age or our age that not a lot of people have regular TV. So, speaking of regular TV, did we talk about the docu series that Tom Hanks is narrating called The Americas?
You told us about that either last week or the week before.
Okay, it's
Loving it.
fantastic, honestly. Yeah,
Great.
it's almost like I can't say it enough,
You can't say it enough.
but I will not say anymore. It's just really good,
Okay. Great.
super cool. Okay, so what was next, Kelly? Well, I can tell you this
So many
that
things.
Tupac Shakur and some free solo success.
Hmm.
There's lyrics, there's the requirement of $250,000, and the music could be yours, but could it be yours? Is it going to be yours? What's the I don't fully understand this story.
Well, I just looked at it again, and because it looks like it's yours, but then like you can listen to it. So like, because it says you'll be able to listen to your heart's content, but will have to congregate with Tupac's estate, who control the distribution if you want to release it publicly. So you can't go to a party and start spinning the tunes.
So basically, if you have $250,000, it's not like a regular fan that can get it. They're looking to like leverage it for something else, right? So if you want to work with the estate, then that
Yeah.
could be your next step. So it's not just for like, you know, fangirl number one for Tupac that might have $250,000. She just wants to, like it sounds then like that it's for
Involved.
more involved and, as an investment to then make more money, which I'm not opposed to for the estate. It's a piece of art
Yeah.
and it's a part of his legacy. So I totally get that. But I find it a weird way to sort of indicate that it's for sale. It's cloudy
It
and
says, and it's funny because in the article we read, it says it's available for you for 250,000 and is available only for private sale. And then they put the only in like italics.
yeah.
So that really means, I guess, like you can listen to it, but you cannot do anything with it. Like, yeah, because that
Mhm.
makes sense because they said the estate controls the distribution. So it's not like you can then like sell it for a remix, you know?
Right.
So it's like it's literally yours, but you can't distribute it anywhere. Like you can't like
Unless you're working with them and
yeah, with the
determine that as part of your deal. So basically your $250,000 is your buy-in for the possibility of more down the line,
yeah,
which is an interesting prospect because with no offense to him, he obviously I think he grew as an artist. He's capable. Um, was he that good then?
right.
If you're growing, if you go back to when you were beginning, chances are you still had some growth that was required to get you to the point where he got.
Mm-hmm.
$250,000 is really playing on the legacy angle, I think.
Yeah. And you know what's interesting is you know how like all these artists like Justin Bieber, like Bruce Springsteen, like all these people have sold their catalog.
Mm-hmm.
I believe they get zero say in it, right? It's gone now.
Yeah.
They got paid, and so if they decide they want to put it in a diaper commercial, well, that's what's happening.
Yep.
Yeah.
I guess you have to, well, that makes sense too. You get to a point in your life where you're like, okay, well, this is how this music is going to serve me now. and moving forward. It's
Yeah.
its own entity. And
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I wonder how I would deal with that because I don't know if I don't know. Like, obviously, to have all that money is great, but I don't know if I'd be able to, knowing the control freak that I am, I don't know if I'd be able to just be like, okay, goodbye, and then know that it could show up on a diaper commercial.
or as part of a porn soundtrack.
There's that.
But maybe there's some finer, printed details in the agreement that
There
we,
must be because
yeah,
I can't see like a Bruce Springsteen signing off on his catalog and then knowing like it could show up. And obviously there's nothing wrong with a diaper commercial, but you know
no.
what I mean? Like it's just I don't know. Like it's your brand. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. There has to be some kind of stipulation where it's like they do mostly what they want except for XYZ
Yeah, they
situation.
could probably work that into an agreement.
Yeah.
Sounds, but
It's
at a
5 million
point,
less.
like especially with a Bruce Springsteen, this many years later, 50 years of making music,
Hmm.
um, it like supersedes him. It's its own entity. The music is its own entity. So, and it's ours. So the reason why it is so platformed at such a high level is because of how we all feel about it.
Hmm.
So it then becomes if they use it in a diaper commercial, then we're like, really? Or it might strike us as really like comforting that we see it in a commercial.
Yeah.
It's detached from him because it has been for so long. He's offered it up to the world. It's not his song anymore, almost. It's ours.
Yeah. I guess so. But like I would have a big, I don't know, like it would be hard to hear certain songs in certain instances. You're like, nope. Like sometimes like, you'll hear like a 90s track somewhere and you're like, oh my God, that's amazing that they brought it back.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. But then other times I'd be like, oh my God, like I don't think that person would want that song in that. Like I don't know.
There's a Bronski Beat song, Small Town Boy,
Oh yeah.
that's getting quite a lot of, it's in a commercial and I think it's for a car.
Is it a TikTok thing? No, it's commercial. Okay.
No, it's a regular TV commercial,
I
but
forgot
it's one of
that
those ones that
song.
I hear a lot
That's
on
nice.
regular TV. Is it nice though, or is it bugging me that I'm hearing it so much and I'm not hearing the full song? And
Mm,
I don't know.
yeah.
Anyways, what are we gonna do?
Not that anyone's asked us for our opinion or
They
wanted
haven't,
our
but you know
discography.
what? We have been doing a podcast for 13 years, and it's where we get to say our opinion.
Yeah.
Okay, so what did we want to talk about here, Kel? I think we talked about this when it happened the first time. The show SWAT. Who's the actor in that?
Shamar Moore.
Lamar Moore. You love him.
I do, and I think that's why I brought it to our attention again, just because like he's so passionate about whatever show he's in, and he has so much love for his fans and the fans of again whatever project he's in. And
Hmm.
so like you want to see him do well, and you want to
Right.
see that show do well, and his and his team on that show. And
Sure.
yeah, so it was originally canceled in May of 23, and then he put on such a big, and again, and he was brave to do it because I think a lot of people would have just been like, okay, I'll find something else because he literally went at Hollywood. He went at his network and was like, why are you canceling us? Like he was biting the hand that feeds him in a way
Hmm.
back in May of 2023, but it worked because they brought him back. They brought like the show back, and then it was supposed to be just for one more season, but then they signed them for another. So they did two, and then all of a
Hmm.
sudden now in this second season that they're in, they've cut it. Like it's wrapping in May and that's it. And so he's now gone again to his social media and has spread the word, and it's been picked up by Deadline, it's been picked up by many other entertainment publications, and he fully name checked other networks. He's like, NBC, if you want us, like, would be happy to come over. And he's like, and then he name checked like hardcore Netflix. He's like, and I don't know if Netflix is already running older episodes. I'm not sure, but there seemed to be something like where he said there was a connection. So I don't know. So I don't want to say yes or no, but he made it sound in this message that there was some kind of connection, and he was like, we'd be happy to come over there, like blah blah. And so it's very curious, and it's funny, I'm such a huge fan in general terms of the CBS network because I love Young and the Restless. There's many shows on that network that I love, and I root for that network in and amongst everything that goes on with the streamers. And
Hmm.
it's very curious decisions because first they bounced Blue Bloods, and now they've bounced, or they're trying to bounce SWAT, and they bounced. I think they've bounced an FBI, one of the FBI franchises, and something else.
Yeah,
And so they're really trying to, and they have new shows lined up. So they're really trying to push these new shows. And I understand that, but like both Blue Bloods and SWAT have great ratings, from what I understand.
it's unusual.
Well, it's very unusual because it's like it's so hard right now to get an audience. And like on one hand, I see the Blue Bloods thing. Like I still don't see it because I think they could have gone on just like, SVU has been going on what 25 seasons or 24 seasons at this point. So
Hmm.
so they could have viewed Blue Bloods as that for them, like NBC views SVU for for their network. Um but with SWAT, like they're only at 8 seasons. Like there's Blue Bloods can go to 14. Why can't SWAT? Like if it's
Totally.
and these
Especially that. Like it's not like falling ratings.
Yeah, no, like and now there's like a hashtag save SWAT. So we'll see. Like I really hope he proves them wrong again because again, he was courageous to go right at the network that, and he wasn't mean
Yeah.
about it. He's like, look, he's like I've been with you since Young and the Restless. So it's like Young and the Restless, then he was on Criminal Minds, which was on CBS, and
Yep.
then he's gone to SWAT. So CBS really is his home. Uh,
Yeah.
but for him to still call them out, like I was proud of him because I think a lot of people are not in the position to do that. And so I hope it works. And I guess because I've been on enough ending of shows where you wish they could keep going for a bit, that
Yeah.
I feel for the SWAT fans and I hope it works out.
Well, interesting that one of the shows that was on the bubble was Equalizer, but
Right.
it's fine.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
because Queen Latifah said, "Nuh-uh,
Yeah, exactly.
go get Shamar Moore."
Yeah, exactly.
It's the kind of
They
thing,
said
though.
there's one more
I think it's
season,
going to
but
be
then
fine.
there's gonna be a CBS. There's supposed to be a spin-off of Equalizer. That's
Mm,
one of the new ones that they're touting. So like I guess it's a good problem to have, but again, like too with SWAT, knowing that Blue Bloods on your own, network has done 14 years, why wouldn't you stay with something that you know is going to work? Because
yeah,
to put in all these new ones, X amount of them are going to fail. So maybe just hold one back for a year. And, it just
they
seems,
need you, Kelly. They need you to help with their
I know.
scheduling and their whole. They need you. Period.
Yeah. Yeah. I will give them a shout out though, because did we talk about Beyond the Gates? Have we had that quick discussion? So Beyond the Gates is the first new soap, I think, in like 14 years or something crazy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And the lead family in this soap is African American, which is so most of the cast are African Americans, which is absolutely fantastic. Um, the lady behind it is someone who has a long tenure in soaps, including with General Hospital.
Hmm.
She's been given this opportunity, which obviously she fought for, and the network's behind her, and so CBS, like, my hat's off to you for because they had bounced so many networks, including NBC, ABC, CBS, had taken off soaps, including like All My Children, Another World,
Yeah.
like all these legendary soaps off to make room for like those game show things that are much cheaper to run. Because they don't cost, you're not paying a cast for it, you know what I mean? So
Hmm.
for CBS to be like, no, we're gonna do this, like I'm super excited because I never in my lifetime thought I would see a new soap start. I was just hoping the four that are going will keep going.
Yeah.
And the ratings apparently for the first week of the show have been astronomical. So I
Oh,
really hope
good.
people get behind the
That's
show.
an indication that people want that kind of
Yeah.
television.
Yeah. I'm actually
People
thinking
love it.
I'm following the girl now, the lady for Beyond the Gates, and I'm actually thinking I'm gonna reach out to her and see if I should come on the show.
Hey, good idea.
Because because like I love that it's two women that have been spearheading this and have made it happen. So
Nice. Go get it, Kel.
go girls.
Family and friends of Dwayne Wiggins,
Uh,
founding member of Tony, has
yeah.
our thoughts and prayers go out to them at 64. He was fighting bladder cancer, and his family has been thankful to everybody who have sent prayers and good vibes their way. That they're obviously very proud of him and what he's done and how he's impacted millions of people around the world with his music and his art and his passion for what he was doing. So may he rest in peace.
Another gut punch.
It doesn't feel good.
No, no, when I saw that come across, because it came across my Instagram feed first, then I went to check TMZ, um, because it was, somebody that I follow on social media had posted, and I was like, no, like not again, like no.
Yeah.
And I love that group so much. And they were actually supposed to perform on the 22nd of March
Yes, I read that too.
at an
That's
event.
wild.
And like, yeah, and uh, yep, just terrible. And I also just wanted to thank our listeners for being so supportive and so understanding of us talking about Angie Stone last week. I think it resonated with a lot of people. So
Yeah, for sure.
I'm glad we're able to pay tribute to her.
It's when we were talking about Leonardo DiCaprio and his affinity for or affection for Luke Perry, and we talked about the year 2019, and that there was other people that had passed that year or that day, even around that time as Luke Perry. I was thinking in the mid and late 20 teens, there was a lot of celebrity deaths,
Hmm.
and it seems that um, well, it never stops, I guess, right? But it's almost like they were older, the older guard of musician, that kind of thing. Luke Perry, obviously very young at that time,
Hmm.
at 52. Um, but it continues, and the impact is real because we love their music and we connect and we hear what they're singing, and so it matters. So it's no surprise that people would be in support of that.
Hmm.
But you know what makes us feel better always, Kelly?
The rewind.
Yes, and the music. So we're going back to 1991. Now imagine this, if you will. I want to save my first one till the end, actually, because it's great. Some signature sounds from Whitney Houston and All the Man I Need.
Oh,
I've grabbed more than a handful of songs here because I felt it necessary. I couldn't not. I'm trying to just make five or six or whatever. I'm like, no, cannot delete Celine Dion. Where does my heart beat now?
vintage.
Cannot, have to mention Wilson Phillips.
Yep.
You're in love. Oh, come on. London Beat,
Yep.
their signature song. They had more than this song for sure, but I've been thinking about you. Screams 1991 to me.
Hmm.
When Tesla, the rock band, took on a song from the 70s and made it their own in an unplugged fashion, and unplugged tunes were very big around this time
Hmm.
in the 90s and 1991. So they did Signs and they made it their own
Hmm.
by sticking very close to what the original sounded like. As far as signature 90s tunes go, we go to CNC Music Factory and Gonna Make You Sweat.
Uh, uh,
Of course. Now, the one I'm saving for last here, Tracy Spencer.
this house.
Yeah, This House. What a song. That just, the drum track on that, just supremely 1991. Made me feel good to see it. It's been on a loop in my head all day. And that is your 90s rewind.
That was very jammin'.
Jammin'. Imagine if we talked like remixes. Jammin'. How are you? Good, good, good.
That
Okay, so obviously I've hit a wall. Happy daylight savings time to everybody who's sprung forward.
I'm ecstatic.
I love the longer days for sure. I miss the hour of sleep, but that's my life. So,
Yeah. You know, it's
uh,
it's funny is like I'm sure I don't know if you get it as much on your station, but like I feel it on ours that there's like pushback from some of our audience members about time change sometimes. And so
mhm.
I fully went at it on Sunday. I was like, all right, let's talk about it. I love the time change. So I don't know if people did or not, but I was very ecstatic about it because I'm like, who cares about the hour? Like it's like whatever, we'll get over it. It's all good.
I love the hour. If we could fall back every 6 months,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
It'll be
I
better.
love daylight more than I miss the hour, that's for sure. But it does throw me a little bit for the couple of days after. And not fun fact, but the increase in heart attacks, strokes, and fatal car crashes within the first few days after the time change. So you deal with it Sunday and it doesn't really affect you, but then it kind of hits Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday after that daylight saving Sunday.
Really?
And all those things are increased. Isn't that nuts?
But you know what's, I guess because I view it as like, because you know, some people they'll go on vacation, wherever, like a 6 hour time. Let's say we were going to, France right now. I think it's a 5 hour difference now just because of our time change, but normally it's 6 hours, right? So 6 hours to Paris. We stay there for a week and then we come back. So you're all mixed up in a very short time
Yeah.
frame.
Hmm.
But nobody ever complains about that because they're on vacation.
Yes, because they've just got back from Paris.
Yeah, and so I'm like, what's 1 hour that happens every 6 months? Like you say, like it's
You know what has to happen then?
what?
We have to take something vacationy and have it be a part of that first day. Like,
Mhm.
oh, the hour, but I had a baguette.
Yeah.
Maybe that. I mean, something to consider. Maybe just
Yep,
get a baguette anyways.
that's fair. Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for finding us, following us, and hanging out with us for yet another trip down memory lane. We appreciate you. Thank you. And thank you for listening to 90s Now. Still happening.